Do you have the soul of a free man or do you have the soul of a slave? This is a topic I got from the book The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon is a financial help book, but it tells it gives its financial advice through the stories of philosophical stories. And one of the stories that stuck with me the most was the story of a camel trader who was spent a lot of his life in slavery, but he escaped it. And he explained why he ended up adopting the soul of a slave and how he reclaimed his soul of a free man and escaped that slavery and became a wealthy camel trader. It was a very great story. And it made me want to make this video. The soul of a free man is something we're all born with. Every single human being on this planet is born with the soul of a free man or a soul of a free woman, whatever. Basically a free soul. And that's freedom is given to us by God, whatever you want to call God. We are born with those essential God-given liberties, God-given freedoms. The reason why it is so tragic that when somebody has a soul of a slave is because they adopt the soul of a slave. The soul of a slave is adopted. Yes, human beings can be forced into slavery. But if you force a man who has a free soul into slavery, he will escape it. When I first read this story, as an aspiring Stoic, I first thought of Epictetus. Epictetus was a slave for most of his life, but eventually escaped and became one of the greatest philosophical teachers of all time. He became a free man, escaped his forced slavery, and ended up teaching an incredible class and passing down wisdom for thousands of years because he had the soul of a free man. What's the difference between the soul of a free man and the soul of a slave? And how can you determine which one you have? Well, first understand that if you have the soul of a slave, you've adopted it. It is on you. Because it is a combination of your habits, choices, decisions, how you think. The soul of a slave is somebody who runs away from their problems, who does not take action when action is required. Marcus Aurelius says the impediment to action is the advancement of action. It is extremely powerful. Free men know what that means. Slaves do not. If you are stuck doing something you don't want to do, and there are so many people out there who are doing something they don't want to do, you have to understand that action is required, that effort is required to get yourself out of that. The people who have adopted the soul of a slave, they are, in a sense, submissive. They kind of just deal with it. They ignore it. They push it to the back of their head. They keep on relying on things to get them through the day instead of relying on themselves, relying on other people, relying on, short-term pleasures. They don't think critically. They don't think pretty much at all. They just go with it and keep on doing things they know they don't want to do, know things they shouldn't be doing. In the story, the richest man in Babylon, he was a slave when he was running from his debt. When he would accrue debt from someone and then he would run away from that person and ignore them, avoid them. And slowly but surely he built his own, slavery. He put himself into slavery. And that's how the slave of a soul is slowly adopted. Something that is slowly adopted over time by making unwise decisions over and over and over again. By choosing, instead of relying on yourself, relying on something else. By accruing a little bit of debt here or accruing a little bit of debt there. By ignoring the call to action. Free men do not ignore the call to action. If you force somebody into slavery and they have the soul of a free man, they do not escape. Or they do escape. Sorry. They will escape. Because they listen to the call of action. They do not ignore their problems. They do not rely on anyone else or anything to obtain their goals or wishes and desires. When they're doing something they don't want to do, they understand that they can get themselves out of it, no matter how hard it may be, no matter what the circumstances. Now you have to ask yourself, have you adopted the soul of a slave? Have you fallen into a path that you know you shouldn't be in? Have you made small choices over and over again, day throughout day? Not making the correct decisions that you know you should be making? by sleeping in, by spending money when you shouldn't, by not saving money to obtain your freedom. Because unfortunately, one of the greatest ways to obtain freedom nowadays is financial independence. Most people are locked into something they don't want to do, are technically a slave because of money, because of the poor financial decisions they made throughout their lives. So once again, what decisions are you making? Look deep inside yourself. Sit down for a little bit and think. Think about, have you become submissive to your circumstances? Do you care about things and judge things that you shouldn't be caring or judging for? Do you really believe that you're free? Do you really believe that you're waking up every morning and doing what you want? What kind of soul do you have? What form, what shape does it have? Is it letting the circumstances, the world around it, mold it? Or are you molding it? Slaves have their soul molded for them. If you have the soul of a slave, your soul is being molded by others, being molded by your circumstances. If you have the soul of a free man, you already know this, you're molding your own soul. You're waking up every morning and doing everything you can to make sure that when you do wake up in the morning, you're doing what you want to do. Bending the circumstances to your will, and only caring about what you can control. If you spend all day worrying about something you cannot control, something that is beyond you, then you have no energy to free yourself. Slaves worry about circumstances they have no control over. If you have the soul of a slave, you spend all your energy and time doing things or thinking about things and spending energy on stuff that you have no control over, that's not up to you. Focus all your energy on what is up to you and what you can't control. Free yourself. Because naturally, your soul is free. Your soul is very free. God has given you liberties, and you should not waste them. If you've lost them, you can reclaim them. Do not let fear, laziness, stubbornness, submissiveness, let those liberties be stolen from you. Once again, I'll ask the question, do you have the soul of a free man or the soul of a slave? And if you do have the soul of a slave, how are you going to reclaim your freedom?